Karls, one of the co-founders and rainmakers at Midday Squares. I'm 32 years old. I'm off the wall, I believe. I love to dance. And my whole mission in life is to inspire people to lean into themselves. As cheesy as that sounds, that's I think your greatest asset's you being you. So fired up to fucking be here, 7 a.m.
Ooh. Before Midday Squares, who was Jake Karls?
Class clown. I was literally the person in school that always was either laughed at or laughed with.
Yeah.
I struggled. So like, I always say this because it's a big part of my life and it's changed the way I am today. And, you know, when I was younger, because I was insecure about my academic ability, like I was always like, I felt like I was the dumb one in class. And I have some learning disabilities, which I'm actually, it's one of my superpowers now, I believe. But at the time, I would just, school was really hard for me. Mm-hmm. And during that time, all I did was make noise. I was like, I'm going to be loud. I'm going to be wild. I'm going to be crazy. I'm going to be the one that everyone laughs with or laughs at. And until grade 11, when you graduate in Montreal for high school, and my mom was called to the principal's office and she was crying because she's like, you're the only one that's not going to graduate. And in that moment, I felt like a loser in quotations. And I say this in quotations, a societal failure. And I decided in that moment I was going to change my personality and I was going to fit in. And this is a big fork in the road for me because fitting in meant following the herd, playing it safe, not taking risks, not being the loud person, not being an outlier. Mm-hmm. And I decided to change that in grade 11. And I switched and I studied. I ended up passing. I graduated. I went to CEGEP. I went to university after. But during that time from high school to end of university, I kind of tried to like dim myself or like lower the light a little bit and stay a little, not raise my hand, not be loud, not be fun, not be wild. And I ended up struggling too. Like I didn't even get the job I wanted to get. I tried to be an investment banker, couldn't even get the job. So when I realized that playing that game wasn't working, I actually leaned back into myself. And when I was 21, I started my first business. But the idea was it was just like a fitness boot camps outside. Okay. And again, I couldn't get a job.
I remember that actually.
It was wild.
Yeah, I actually remember that.
I used to be like jacked. Like I was working out 4 hours a day.
Yeah.
Because I didn't do well in school, so I would just work out all the time. And I basically took what I was good at. I had no certifications, took what I was good at. And I took my personality, which I was dimming. I was like, let's fire that up again. Mm-hmm. And I took social media and I just filmed myself working out outside, no shirt, come have fun. And people just started coming. Mm-hmm. Free. Didn't charge them. Parents' driveway. Literally put like cones out and ladders. Next thing you know, 5 people, 10 people. Then I started charging and it was a great business. And I realized people are attracted to energy and fun. And that's when it clicked in my mind. It's like, I got to lean back into that energy, that Jake energy, that fun energy. And that brought me back after 10 years or so or whatever, 7 or 8 years of just trying to be somebody else to finally being myself again. And then now I just iterate that every day. I try to lean as much into me and that's going to be a lifelong journey.
What was your life like before Midday Squares and entrepreneurship? I know you just said that, but
no, I started my entrepreneurship because I couldn't get a job. That's the truth. Or I got rejected from a bunch of job interviews. And
why would they reject you? Just because you were too loud?
I think I was trying to be like everybody else and someone was always better than me. Like if you think about it, if I'm trying to play someone else's game and they're always going to beat me at that game because someone always has more, someone has better grades, someone has better degrees, someone has better volunteer work. So I tried to play that instead of playing who I am, like bring the personality to the job interview. Like I was scared to be me. So you would see me in an interview and I was like tight, scared, trying to just read a script, like play to my resume. And like, it just doesn't work because again, there's so many people in the world, right? And there's always gonna be someone better than you, but they're not better than you at your own game. So once you understand, and I think any 20-year-old, 30-year-old should invest so much time and energy into understanding what their game is, what their strengths are and what their weaknesses are and what makes them feel alive. Once you understand those things, you can win the world because once you understand that, you can now lean into what makes you unique. So that's what at 21, I start to lean into slowly what was making me unique and I start to see things working, start to see momentum. I start to see growth. And it wasn't like straight like that, but it was starting to grow. And now it's the same thing. I'm still trying to grow. And I'm always wanting to learn. And I realize sometimes when you veer off, you got to pull yourself back. So now for the last 12 years, I've been an entrepreneur. I've had 3 businesses. I'm in my 3rd one right now. And the first one worked, it was fitness boot camps. The second one, I closed the fitness boot camps because I no longer was passionate after 3 years. It felt like it was a chore. So passion dropped that one, not business. Second business was throwing parties on college campuses because I wanted to get back to college campuses. I had so much fun there. And I threw parties and I tried to sell clothing like sweatshirts like this. And it failed. I was a horrible CEO. I was literally the worst operator possible, but the brand was hot. The social media was fun. And so I learned that I was good at that side, the storytelling, but I was horrible at building a company behind the scenes on an ops perspective. And then that's when Leslie and Nick approached me, my sister and brother-in-law, when I was 25. And they're like, do you want to join us? And you got to be the brand builder, the loud person, the storyteller, which you're amazing at. And you don't have to do any ops. You're horrible at ops. We're great at ops. Let's combine forces. So
it's perfect.
So again, I think the learning I had, I think for anybody, was I spent time understanding what I was good at and what I was bad at. And then I started to lean into what I was good at, and my whole life changed.
Mm-hmm. And how was it like working with Leslie and Nick?
Well, look, we're family, right? And that you can't not say that.
Sometimes it's really amazing, and then sometimes it's not. But
100%. But like, I think like people think we just partner because we're family. It's easy, but it's not the case. Like,
you actually get along.
I love them as family, but we partner because we're different. And like what Leslie's good at, I'm not great at. What Nick's good at, I'm not great at. What I'm great at, they're not good at. So when you put us together, it's not 1 + 1 + 1 = 3. It's actually 1 + 1 + 1 = greater than 3. So the output's higher because we complement each other. The second thing we did since day one, which people find sometimes a little, it's like different, is we went to therapy. We still go. We signed a deal that we'd go perpetual, which means forever, as long as this business exists. Once every 7 to 10 days together. I had one yesterday for 2 hours. And just
with them or just
with them,
alone?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did one alone in the morning, and then I did one with them in the afternoon. Same coach, same therapist. His name's Dr. James Gavin from Montreal, professor at Concordia, brilliant human. But we go there because it's all about communication. So we do it to not only protect us as family, because we are family and I love them as a sibling and brother-in-law, but also to make sure that our business partnership is thriving and we're communicating so clearly. That way I understand where where their head's at, they know where I'm at, so we stay aligned. Most businesses don't fail because of shit product or whatever. They fail because partnerships collapse because expectation, reality, and alignment start to get screwed over. But why it gets screwed up is because they don't communicate. And it's hard to communicate when there's pressure, when there's money, when there's stress and all this stuff. So we go to that therapy, and every time we show up, it means that we're committed to each other. And that's kind of like been the respect. We've done hundreds of sessions together, and sometimes they're brutal, like absolutely brutal. When you're talking to your sister and brother-in-law about such intimate things, it's off, right? But in the end, it's made us way better leaders. It's made us way better communicators. And it's kept us so aligned that our investors and people that work with us think it's the best thing that we invest in. They don't care how much we spend on it because it's like, you guys are protecting this partnership at all costs.
Wow. And where do you see yourself in 5 years? Not just with Midday, but with yourself.
Yeah, I don't know. I think for me, like, I want to inspire more entrepreneurship in Canada, but also in North America. But like, you look at the data, and in Canada, there's, I think, I don't know, was it 20 or 100,000 fewer entrepreneurs in the last 20 years than we had, from 20 years ago.
I didn't know that.
I think it's something like that. There was a bank did like a
study?
report. Yeah, I got to check it out. I got to get it. But they could fact check me for that if I was wrong. But my whole mission is like, if I show people that we could build a huge business, or whatever huge is in quotations, by being unapologetically me, then I can inspire a whole other generation to lean into themselves. Because what I do is I travel across North America going to universities, and I give guest lectures, I give talks to business students, MBA students, marketing students, entrepreneur students. And what I'm noticing is people are scared to take risks. They're scared to lean into themselves. And I think that if I could show them someone that didn't do well in school, someone that didn't have any knowledge in the food industry, was able to build a scaled business in this industry, going against all odds, doing it our own way, and leaning into what my superpowers are, what my partner's superpowers are, then we could hopefully inspire a whole other group of people to take those risks. Because if we don't have entrepreneurs, and entrepreneurs aren't better than corporate people, it's the same. But if we don't have entrepreneurs, then a lot of the small businesses actually supply tons of jobs. They create ecosystems and they solve problems. So if you don't have that much entrepreneurs, then what is your ecosystem, right? So innovation is critical to an infrastructure of a country. And I think that I want to spend some time inspiring, dedicating, building a fund, injecting capital, and building mentorship and groups of people that could help support entrepreneurs. I think that's my next 5-10 year run.
Yeah.
And it's hard, but like, it's a big problem, but like, I don't know, what amps me up is trying to at least be chipping away a little bit of that.
Yeah.
And being part of at least someone's story. So like, I was at McGill yesterday giving a guest lecture, and a student came up to me after the class, and it was an international business course. It was his first year, so they're younger, right? And it was a huge auditorium, and he came up to me and he said, I just want to thank you. Like, I feel like motivated and inspired to like take the risk. I actually want to. I needed that push. And I'm like, I didn't push you anything. I just showed you what was possible. And he was like, I feel really amped up right now. And I left the guest lecture and I felt like, wow, like it's cool that he loves the brand Midday Squares. He's cool, like, he might buy our product, but I just impacted this person's life and that might impact it for the next 20, 30, 40 years. And that's just my time giving. That's all it is. It's time, right? And time's valuable, but like, I just think that's my mission. And that's what's going to take me for the next 10 years.
And then what advice would you give someone?
I think there's a lot of noise.
Either starting out a brand or even just doing what you're doing right now.
I think there's a lot of noise. Like, honestly, like everyone tells you to be a certain way. Like they're like, okay, don't do this. It's impossible. Don't start a podcast because there's 1,000 other podcasts. Don't build a snack bar business because there's limited space in a grocery store. You could make endless excuses. The world will tell you it's impossible. It will conform you to risk aversion. You need to spend all your time pushing away conformity at all costs and leaning into what you're great at. And you need to put literally like glasses on to keep a narrow vision and only let in noise that fires you up. And what I mean by that is it's important at the beginning when you start to have unconditional self-delusional belief that it's possible. Because the world will tell you what you think is impossible or that it's already been done. If you hear that, it's going to discourage you. It's going to dim your light. It's going to create darkness. So I think set yourself up around delusional people like yourself.
Right.
And believe.
So smart people,
Because most people don't. Like they say they have an idea and then someone tells them, oh, but it's been done before. So right away, instantaneously, that person's discouraged. And the discouragement will break down the energy and then your energy collapses and then you feel, oh, maybe I shouldn't do it. You could tell yourself the story. It's easier to do that. I could do that. Go work there. It's safer. That's horrible. And you don't need to be young to start a business. You could be 50, 60 years old. Yes, you might have more responsibilities, bills, kids, etc. But you live one life. And I think it's super important to go around the world that you live, the life that you're going to live, and live it the way you actually want to, because you don't know when it's over. It could be tomorrow, it could be today, it could be, God willing, it's not, but like it could be hopefully in 100 years.
Right.
But you got to feel alive every day.
Did you go to school for speaking?
No, my biggest insecurity was public speaking growing up.
And then how did you get over it?
You know what? I was always insecure about my academic ability.
Yeah.
So my ability to articulate, I always did bad in English class. Like I literally bottom of the class. I was put in a separate class of 10 people because—
Me too.
Yeah. But which I, honestly was the best experience of my life. But what changed was when I was 25, I realized like being insecure about my slanted teeth and all these things that like made me not want to raise my hand in class or like not want to speak at dinner tables or not want to fire people up. I was always embarrassed.
Yeah.
Because like people are judging me. Like, they look at me as dumb. They look at me as slanted teeth. All these things were stories I was telling myself. Then one day I was invited when we started Midday Squares to give a talk at Concordia University at like a club. It wasn't a lecture. It was like a club of students. They organized this big event. I think it was 100 people in the room. And it was a panel with Nick, Leslie, and my best friend Daniel, who's a lawyer, was moderating. He was a great moderator. It was his first moderation, but he's unbelievably articulate. And I brought a boombox and I went there and I was like so nervous. I was actually like pooing before, like crazy. Like the stomach was, and I think it was diarrhea actually. I was like, I was in and out of the bathroom, sweating buckets, panicking. But I'll never forget, I went on and I probably botched the whole thing. Like I was horrible, but I was like stuttering. I was nervous. I was like hiding myself. I wasn't bringing the energy out of who Jake is. And then as I got off the stage, I'll never forget, I was proud. Even if I didn't do well, I was proud that I had the courage to show up. And I liked the feeling of the courage. So what I did was I asked to go on another one and then another one. And then I did like almost weekly. And it was horrible. It wasn't great. People weren't fired up. They weren't inspired. But I was inspired because it was courageous for me to, literally face head on my biggest fear. And then next thing you know, it started to turn into big stages. Like it was 100 people, then it was 1,000 people, then it was 5,000 people, then I was getting paid to do it. Wow. And I was like, shit, this is a strength. And what I realized is the story I was telling myself was my biggest disadvantage. I was telling myself that I couldn't do this, that I shouldn't do this, that people are judging me, that people are doing this. And so what if they are? That's a them problem, not a me problem. So once you tell yourself the story that it's possible, that like you should try it, and you start stepping baby steps, the compounded growth is insane. 1% a day, someone once said, equals to 37 times better at the end of the year. I became way better. And then now it's actually something I do weekly. I was at Harvard the week before.
That's amazing.
I'm going to Forbes next week for this big stage. It's like, I don't know, 3,000 or 4,000 people with their summit. But you know what happens is what it made me realize is you could learn things. You could overcome fear. And now instead of fear, like running away from the fear or like avoiding it, I like explore it a little bit. And some ways it doesn't go well, but at least sometimes I explore and find new things. And public speaking has now become, I guess, one of my greatest assets I actually have.
Okay.
So it's super cool.
Oh, I hate speaking in front of people. But maybe I'll try.
Try.
Well, I did the CJA thing.
Yeah,
like
and you
forever
probably
ago.
killed it.
No, I didn't. I had the worst migraine, but I was like, it's fine. I'll be fine. But then after, I'm like, I should probably do it more because I was sweating.
You're
like,
great, but you're great at articulation.
But this is one-on-one.
But it's
and
the
same, camera.
It's the same
but
thing.
It's not.
Yes, but I agree with you. I used to like diarrhea every time and like throw up sometimes. It was horrible. Sweat, like BO would come. It was horrible. And I don't get BO. So I just realized like, again, like what's the worst case? They laugh at me. They judge me. They don't buy my product.
Right.
I'm a good person. I believe I'm a good person. I'm not saying anything crazy that's like, like hurtful to anybody. I'm just talking about my journey and I'm trying to add value to that person's life. And if they don't want to appreciate the value, then okay. So that person doesn't like me and they're going to say Jake Karls is embarrassing and he's this, that. Once I start to realize that it's minuscule on the grand scheme of anything, like there's 7 billion people in the world.
Exactly.
Even if 40 million people can't look at me, there's 6 point something billion more to go. So then I was just like, let me show the world who I believe I actually am. And then I started leading and I started dancing in front of crowds. I started making people do like, hey, baby, ooh, ah. You understand? Corporate settings, banks. I would go to banks.
And they loved it?
First, they were like, what the hell is going on? Then slowly one person goes, hey, and then you see that their colleague, hey, and then everyone's dancing. And then I realized, shit, I just took them out of their serious in the box mentality and I made them be a child again. Again, inspiring.
They love that, yeah.
But then I started realizing like, you make your own rules as long as you're a good person.
Well, you're going to be like the new Tony Robbins, but like better.
My therapist told me that. And Tony was great, by the way. Tony is one of the most brilliant speakers in the world.
Well, no, because I know a lot of people that went to his thing in Montreal and they were like fired up for like a month, He's
not bullshit.
Yeah.
He's real. And Tony's he's been doing it for 20, 30, maybe for longer, but he's actually been through a lot in his life. And he shares that. And it comes from a place of like, not like just trying to pitch you something, but from like, what changed him and what fired him up. And honestly, I'm a huge fan. Listen, it could turn into a career, like a full career. As of now, I'm focused on next 3 years on building Midday to become massive in North America. Like literally the next 3 years is like a huge growth curve for us because we're spending a lot of time growing the company. But like I'm traveling like every week. It's just crazy.
Speak.
No, for like
everything.
My role has become a rainmaker. So like I make friends with the company. I basically build relationships for investors. I build relationships for retailers and any type of like journalism or like media and make noise. So like I have to travel every week to go build those relationships and then bring them to the organization. I'm independent of the organization in the sense that I don't have any, ops to do or KPIs. But what I'm there to do is when my team needs a relationship at a massive retailer, I will spend 3 months literally focused on making friends with that person. And then once I'm friends with them, I will bring them to the organization
like sales and
let's
stuff.
work together. Yeah, and it works because I don't have, when I meet with someone, I'm not trying to get something out of you. So I'm trying to be friends with you. So like you're getting my personality. When everyone in business meetings is like, it's so like salesy. I don't do any of that. I'm human to human. So they appreciate it. And then when the time's right, I say, do you want to meet my team? Then they already know that, okay, now there's a business opportunity, but I then step away. And I'm gone, and then my business executes the relationship.
Oh, right, okay.
Super cool. And then I do a ton of speaking because then I'm like, let's blow it up, get contracts. And then people are like, I want to meet this guy because he's so crazy and wild.
Yeah.
That I want to meet this lunatic. And so it all like loops.
Right. And then do you ever regret sharing so much on social media?
Yeah, like honestly, like I get trolled all the time on like on LinkedIn especially.
What?
Yeah, because that's my biggest platform. So like I post like 3 times on LinkedIn. I post about my business and like fun stuff. I'll dance like half naked in the grocery store.
Don't you have them as friends though that are trolling you?
Isn't
LinkedIn friends?
They're like, I guess some of them could be connections.
Connections. Yeah, that's what I mean.
But like each LinkedIn post gets anywhere from like 25 to 250,000 views.
Oh, wow.
In North America. So like they're very good views. And like they're views of like retailers, banks, investors, media. It's actually very strong viewage and it's intentional viewage. But some people are out there, they just want to put you down. And I used to be so angry with trolls. I used to like spend hours trying to come back at them. Like they would say something horribly mean, make fun of my slanted teeth. That was a big insecurity. And then I would try to come back wittier and say something back to them. But then I was spending hours a day.
Yeah, exactly.
But losing energy.
It gets into the soul.
It got into the soul. But then I realized, why don't I change the perspective? And this was through therapy. But like if this person's saying this about me and they don't know me, they must be going through something in their life, suffering. So why don't I ask if everything's okay privately? So what I would do is I would reach out and I'd say, hey, are you okay? Here's my number, call me. Or here, let's go for dinner at my house, get to know me. And then if you don't like me after that,
would they answer?
People would call and
Actually?
they would say, sorry. I had a horrible
Well, yeah, that's
day.
why. If you're really nice back, and like I used to be mean, but then now I'm like, I have a podcast and whatever. So I'm like,
You're
kind of funny or back. And then they're like, oh, she's actually funny. Let me be nice back. And I'm like, okay.
And you know what happens is 6 to 7 out of 10 times, they're like, I'm sorry, I had a bad day. I don't even know you. I took it out on you. Let's talk. 3 out of 10 are disgusting people.
Yeah, exactly.
You block. The idea of blocking is available.
Right.
I don't need to see you again. You want to be a bad person? That's cool. I'll never forget, there was someone that once made like a video, a 10-minute rant on YouTube or something. And we went back and forth for so long. And then he finally just like said like, dude, I'm so sorry for this. And we start talking.
Right.
And I just think that like, you're a human to the world. I'm a human to the world. And like, what's the point of cruelty back? Like, what's the point of wittiness and funniness back? Like, it takes too much out of your soul and like energy out of your greatness to spend time on that. Like, you can actually help that person, because if they realize that they made a mistake or they realize that they were rude, they'll think about it. They'll reflect and they'll be like, why did I do that? Some won't, but at least if you could change one person, then you're doing good for the world. And slowly what ended up happening was it no matter what was said, even like the worst things in the world, it didn't get to me anymore. It's like, I just feel bad. I want to be there for you. And that puts you in a place of guidance. And like, and look, some people hate it, but like, I don't care. Like, I feel better now. I don't waste any time. I get trolled at least once a day, like at least.
Yeah.
And Instagram, not so much.
But are you doing your socials? Every single one?
LinkedIn personally.
Because I was thinking that maybe someone else would do it for me so that I don't have to look at them anymore.
I like to do it because I like to actually be
that person.
I actually like to message people. Right. And like I send a ton of videos to people. So like I actually enjoy having that personal connection. That being said, I just started to work with some people to do like my personal videos, but they're not on my social media. They're just creating the content with me.
Right, okay.
And then I'm actually on there answering. And I don't answer all the DMs. Honestly, I want to. I try to do it when I'm on planes. But like a lot of people just say like, I love the brand, I love the product. And like I try to get to them because at the end of the day, they've taken their hard-earned money and bought our product and supported it and told people about it and spread the love. And I want to give them back the time, even if it's thousands of people, because at the end of the day, like without these people, we don't have a business, right? And I don't have I don't have the ability to do my speaking stuff that I'm doing all this crazy stuff, right? So I try to spend time on those. I take planes every week on those planes and just go through all the messages. And some of them are sales messages, some are mean messages. Yeah. But I take the time to respond. And it's me. I'm not doing it AI. It's just me literally going through it. And
you didn't respond to my message. I messaged you.
Did you?
Yeah. I had to see you in person to stalk your life.
But then we caught each other.
Yeah.
And now we're here.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you texted me personally.
Yeah. And I was like, and then I had to stalk you.
And now it's 7 a.m.
Exactly. So what does a normal day look like for you?
It's the opposite of normal because I don't do any ops in the company. So I'm not at the office. Like actually today I'm going to the office after this because I have to get something. But I spend my days focused on how do I make more friends for the company. Okay. So if it means going to Olympico and like spending 4 hours like we talked and meeting a new person that could help the business, that's work. If that means going to learn about how to be a better speaker, like, working on certain things and like getting coaching and things like that, that's work. Because anything I do, whether it's digital or physical, is to make sure I'm making noise for the company, but also bringing the surface level of new relationships into the company. So my typical day is either digital content creation or events that I go to, speaking gigs, or literally meeting with people. And like yesterday I'll give you a great example. I had 2 lectures at McGill for first year students. I had a 30-minute call for my new content I'm doing for the month. Okay. I had an hour meeting with a bank. And then I did, I had to move my house. So that was the morning. So my role is so crazy because next week I go away to Ottawa on Tuesday, Wednesday, New York, Thursday, Chicago, back Monday, back Friday, Monday I'm at Edmonton, Omaha, Nebraska, Phoenix, back to Montreal. That's how crazy it is. But I'm doing all the relationship building or noise making. It could be it could be doing an article with a journalist. It could be creating content. It could be going to a retailer. Like I'm going to Costco next week in Ottawa because I have to go to a buyer's meeting. So I'm doing that, right? So my life is really chaotic. There's no stability. There's no structure. It's whatever opportunities we need to either execute on or what relationships can I go build that aren't even necessarily going to help us today, but might help us in 3-4 years from now. So like when we raised money, I'll give you a great example. When we raised capital for our business, I found our investors 2 years prior making friendships with them. And then when the time was right, picked up the phone. I was like, do you want to invest? Boom. Within 2 weeks, one of them wrote the check. And it was a massive check. But they trusted us. They trusted us because we built that friendship. I used to travel to their house in Pennsylvania and in New York. And I went to go hang with them. Just again, no asks. Just let's jam, get to know me, trust me, hate me, love me. And then when the time's right, if we built that connection, then go meet my team that's going to execute everything. And then that's the next level. And at the end of the day, my team's great executors. So that's the thing. And like my team will call me and be like, do you know XYZ person from this company? Yeah. No, but give me 2 months. I'm going to go get that done. 2 months later, the friendship's either there or it's not. But at least they know that they can rely on me for that. And my job is to spend as much time to whatever that means. If I have to go on planes, buses, anywhere to go live for like 2-3 weeks, the team they don't care. They're like, go spend the time there. So that's my life. It's chaotic. I travel 150 days a year, which is a lot. Wow. But I believe you got to show up in life if you want to build.
And you love it.
I love parts of it. Okay. I used to love a lot more traveling. It used to be fun, novelty, or new cities. You know, like I said, I've never been to Omaha, Nebraska, so I'm going to go experience what that looks like. But you know, when you're living in hotels and Ubers and cabs and processed food, it gets old. Your routine becomes, you don't have routine.
Well, you don't have routine, yeah.
Exactly. So you get anxiety. And like, you know, like I'm also married and like.
Does she come with you?
No, she works full time.
Okay.
So sometimes she'll come to Phoenix, but we're starting over the weekend. And then a day or two, she's taking off work to come. But, but it's hard. It's hard because she's also alone here. And then I'm also like, at the end of the day, I meet so many people when I'm on these trips, but when you come home to the hotel at night, it's a 4-wall room, doesn't matter how nice it is. Exactly. You're alone. And it's a new bed. It's not your own bed. And it's just tough. And it's mentally very tough. And physically, you're not doing your workouts or your routines or eating the same foods. So it plays around. And I had a burnout because of it like 2.5 years ago. And it was fucked up. Like I almost didn't come back to work. Wow. I was like messed up completely. And like now I know how to like recharge and rest. Yeah. And like,
well, that was the question. So like, what do you do for your mental health to help you?
So working out is a big part. Therapy is a huge thing. I've now up to once a week, sometimes twice. Like yesterday I did 2 sessions because one myself and one with my business partners. But also just like being okay with nothing, like boredom. And like, I used to always give myself anxiety. Like I'm building a business. I got to go 100%. I got all the time, 24/7, 365, brain's got to go. Got to be working on this, that. Right. Now I'm like, okay, I live one life. Like I need to enjoy the people. I can't ignore the people I love and care about. And like, I got to spend time with them. Like it's precious time. So I actually spend time like not on my phone as much. I spend time like reading books. I actually just I'll go to Olympico and actually just have a good laugh. Yeah. Instead of being at the office at 7 a.m. sharp, leaving at this time, I put less pressure. And to be honest with you, we built an amazing team at Midday Squares that are way smarter than Nick, Leslie, and I. And they're running the company. We're now just doing what we do great into the company and the soul of the business. But the team we hired, they're experts at what they do. Yeah. And we were doing jobs previous it was harder for us. Them, it's what they're great at. So that's given us less anxiety. We could go to sleep at night and the factory's working really well and the product, the quality and safety is the highest. So I think like that's helped a lot. And also just like being okay with like, it could all fail. Right. And being okay with that and like releasing that stress has helped a lot because it releases the pressure of like, I got to be up at 4:30 in the morning. I got to go do, like, what am I doing? Like sacrificing my whole life for my health, like my mental health. Like that's crazy. Like we said, we talked about, we get one life. Like you got to live life. You got to enjoy, you got to have fun. Like, and your energy is one of your greatest assets. And for the last year, I've burnt out a lot of energy. And I'm like, this is not Jake that I love. The Jake that everyone loves and Jake that performs the best in life and feels most alive is when I'm feeling energized, when I'm able to give that energy of joie de vivre, of being the child, the dancing Jake, the one that goes into stores, throws bars, blasts music, gets in trouble, gets kicked out, has the laugh, and is living life like that. Yeah. I forgot about that because I was so pressurized. I was so like, I got to get X, Y, Z done. And I burnt out. And I realized like, it's not worth it. Okay, we're going to do a rapid fire. Kick me.
What keeps you in Montreal?
Yeah, for sure. Montreal is listen, I love Montreal. Montreal is one of the most beautiful cities. I get to travel to I have the privilege to.
Yeah. So what keeps you in Montreal? You're not really at Montreal that much, but yeah.
I'm half Montreal, half other cities.
Right.
But I have the privilege to travel all over. And what I think is unique to Montreal is some of these cities have way more business opportunities, way more this, way more that. Montreal is a great community. It's got this unique aspect to it. And I think maybe it's the French and English together. Like the culture is really unique, and it's got like that European-esque, it's got the French heritage, it's got the energies. It's super cool. And everyone knows everyone. I find that like there's this sense of like comfort and safety, in my opinion. That being said, where I think it needs improvement is business opportunities. Right. I think we need to create an ecosystem of opportunities for our next generation, like literally the Gen Z millennials, to be able to go out and win and build and create. Because Montreal had that at one point. It was like one of the hottest cities in North America. And I think we could still get there. And I'm super passionate about, we chose to build our company here. We could have built it in Toronto, LA, New York, in the Midwest. We could have built it anywhere. We chose to build manufacturing, industrial, in Montreal because we love this city. And like I said, like at the end of the day, what makes a city great is prosperity. We need to focus on prosperity. How do we build more business? How do we get more opportunities? How do we create even more community, bring people together, excitement, vibes, positivity? When Montreal summers kick around, it is the best city in North America.
Everyone's getting that
no, but
right
the energy,
now. They're
the momentum
smelling
changes.
it. They're like, oh my God, summer's coming. We're going to be nice now. You know?
Yeah, 6 to 8 months is tough. But this other 6 months or 4 months is the greatest in North America.
Right.
And I fucking love it. So like that keeps me here. And the people are awesome. When you actually go meet people, there's so many different types of people and they are awesome. Now where it gets stinky is we need opportunity. So like I said, like you asked me my mission at the beginning, I want to inspire more entrepreneurship in Montreal. I want to inspire more of an ecosystem where we create opportunities here because I love this city. I've been here for 30 something years. Actually, I lived in Toronto for school at one point, but London, Ontario. But I came back because it's unique. Montreal is so unique.
Because I don't know how you left and you came back and you're still good.
Well, my French.
Because I left also for like.
Well, my French
7
went
years.
down for like I left for like I think 7 years, 6 or 7 years, and then now like what I do to learn more French is I read articles in French. I listen to radio in French on the way to work, and like sometimes I'll watch TV in French, and it really does help. No, it really does.
Yeah.
And then like just speaking it, having the courage to speak it is important. And I'm not perfect, by the way. I have so much work to do.
Yeah.
But I think it's something beautiful about Montreal, and
love that.
I like it.
Okay, so. Rapid fire. You have to say them fast. Okay. St. Viateur or Fairmont?
St. Viateur.
Hidden gem restaurant, like in Montreal.
I don't know if it's a hidden gem, but it is to me. Mile End Grill in the Plateau. It's on St. Viateur Street,
Oh, wait,
I
I think someone else said that also.
You don't understand. It's Portuguese chicken.
Yeah, he said, yeah.
It's value. Not only is it value, service is incredible. The people that own that are amazing humans. And the chicken is unbelievable.
Love it.
Mile End Grill. My friends are going to kill me that I'm telling people about it.
Oh, well. Bagel or croissant?
Croissant.
Poutine at 2 a.m. or protein bar at 2 a.m.?
Poutine at 2 a.m.
Okay.
I actually like OJ poutine. Like, but pas beaucoup de sauce, demi sauce. So I actually like less half sauce because I find when the gravy's too much, it overpowers the experience. I need the balance of the cheese.
Yeah, but the cheese, if there's more gravy, then the cheese melts.
But I actually like, believe it or not, I like
the squeaky.
I like the cheese a little bit harder. It's the craziest thing.
Oh.
And I like the fries extremely crispy.
Okay.
I'm very specific on that.
And then Schwartz or La Banquise?
Schwartz.
What's your favorite Montreal memory? It could be anything. When
Honestly,
you were younger.
Some of the best experiences in Montreal, two of them, I'm going to do two because they're two very different, is Montreal Canadiens. I think that is a proud joy of Montreal. And like when you're there in the playoffs and you're just in that environment, you're watching 21,000 people having the time of their life.
Right.
Literally everything aside in the world, they're just there having fun. They're all united on this idea of Montreal winning. And when you're there, the energy, you just want to lose it. You want to go crazy. It like brings so much out of you. So memories of going there, and I'm excited for this year. Hopefully they make the playoffs. I can't wait to go attend the games because I actually put away funds to buy those tickets for the playoffs because it's super important. I got to be the part of that experience. Second is the ability to go to Laurentians. I think the Laurentians is one of the most beautiful places. Laurentians in northern part of,
Yes.
the north part. It's an hour away to go to lakes, to go to ski hills. Like not every city has that. Like
It's true.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And like summertime, especially, I'm more of a summer person. When you see the mountains with the trees and you see the water, it's just like, I'm sorry, it's absolutely beautiful. And that's another reason why I'm staying in Montreal.
That's actually why I came back too. One word to describe Montreal. Passion.
Hospitality.
Okay.
And why I say that is because of like, we got food, we've got like entertainment, we've got
Right.
all these things that if you actually lean into Montreal's ecosystem, there's shows, there's nightlife, there's crazy restaurants. Now, I'd like to see more like wellness pop up as like the city. Like
I think
more
that
wellness
they're
stuff.
starting to, though.
Yeah, you're seeing it.
Joy Wellness is
but like,
starting.
But like everything, like the wellness from like the lunch spots to like the saunas, the cold plunges to like, I want to see a bit of Miami and New York's wellness scene come to Montreal in Montreal's authentic format.
And then last meal on earth. So last meal on earth in Montreal, what would you choose? It could be anything, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Go.
I've been going to, it's going to sound strange. I've been going to this new restaurant, Yan's Deli, and I actually love their club sandwich. I don't know. I think they do it extremely well. So I'd have that with the fries well done from Mile End Grill.
Okay.
So you put those together.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed. Give me some mayo, give me some ketchup, even maybe give me some Mile End hot sauce because they have a really great, I guess it's Portuguese hot sauce.
Right.
I freak.
And then last meal somewhere else, not in Montreal.
This is going to sound so...
We don't have to pick.
I like steak. So like I like a ribeye. And I went to a place in Texas. I can't remember the spot it was called. And the steak was just, I never tasted something like that in my life.
Yeah. You don't remember the name?
I don't remember the name. I got to ask my buyer. I'm going to ask my buyer, but it was in Dallas, outside of Dallas. And the meat I never tasted something like that. And
you're going to have to tell us.
I'm going to get it. I'm going to try to figure it out. But that, or I went to Snow's Barbecue in outside of Austin, Texas.
Right.
Next level. Like you have to wait 6 hours in line.
Well, no, I remember on Instagram, you, Leslie, like you went, you did this.
And a friend of ours in Texas. Yeah, we went at 4 a.m.
Okay.
We
Where
waited
was this
6 hours.
again?
Just outside Austin.
Okay.
I think it's an hour out.
I remember this. It's funny how you remember things on social media.
Next level, delicious, 6 hour wait, you're wild.
Was it worth the wait?
I would say so. I don't know if Leslie, Nick, I can't remember what they said, but for me, I thought it was just like, that whole experience was cool. Like she's so old and she's her art, her craft. Like you got to appreciate food. Food is a craft. It's so much craftsmanship that goes into it. Love, passion, and history. And it's so good. And like authentic barbecue is when you have the full plate of goods, like it's just so good.
Thank you so much for being
here.
Good? Yes, thank you.